Well, I'm finally done. It's, what time we got here? It's 2:30. Nice. 2:30. I wanted to go to the barn. A couple of our caretakers were missing today. One of them was sick, so Amy and I helped out. Mostly Amy. But I did help out and put some horses away. Talked to Jason about some of the horses that we're looking to race that are getting close, what our plans are with some of them. So just a good day all around, both informatively and on the track. A pretty decent day. Now, truthfully, I've had better training days, but I knew when I got to the barn and we got looking closer at some of the horses, a lot of grab removed, which at the time didn't bother me, but then we get on the track and it was kind of a little deep along the rail. You take all that grab from wintertime off the horses and then add in a deep track, and it changes their gait. It frustrates some of them. You saw that today with some breaks late in the mile, some odd breaks in odd places, and you can almost assuredly blame that on some of the grab. Anyway, it's not the end of the world. The horses are going to have less grab on this time of year. That's good. A little more than they had today, but less grab on. That's good. And no real lameness issues that I saw today, which is also a bonus, because quite frankly, the only sore horses we have are 3 horses we backed off that we've just assigned to jogging duty for the most part. No, hey, this horse has a line and is going to need time off. This is the time of year we start to see those types of things, and we haven't really seen them. If anything, I've seen progression from some of the horses. You know, you see horses growing up and getting bigger. You're like, oh, we got to keep an eye on that horse. Those knees got to be bothering them, the hind end. I haven't seen any of that so far, and I guess that's a, knock on wood type situation, but we've been very lucky in that regard and very happy with the way they've been going. So I wanted to give everybody a quick update. I'm going to talk about the horses that trained today. Are there going to be any shoeing changes? Are there going to be any equipment changes made to these horses over the next couple of days? Yes, there is going to be some horses with changes made. So I'll add that, actually. I'll go down the list of all the horses that trained today and what changes we're looking to make. Arrowhead Hanover, we took the bell boots off him today. But again, did the no grab or the bell boots have an issue with him? I don't think it's ever going to hurt to put them on him. He had knee boots added also over the last week, so I wanted to take those bell boots off. As a driver, it's a big no-no. Bell boots and knee boots, you got that big rubber boot on their foot, then you come up and grab that plastic or rubber knee boot. It sticks sometimes. It's not a very you're not going to find many drivers say, yeah, I don't mind that. It's usually a no-no for many drivers. So Arrowhead Hanover, we will put them back on just to see how he trains his next start, but I don't think he'll need them. Pelican Al and Arrowhead Hanover got jammed up when I went to make a break. One of our clients said, well, truthfully, Melisandre run after Eric had run up on top of Amy. I watched the videos too afterwards just to see what went on. Pelican Al stepped on the wheel of Amy, and that all that happened because Melisandre was getting out of gear. I was trying to steady her. She was looking around. She rolled off stride and caused the whole calamity behind her, which caused Arrowhead Hanover to make another break and caused Pelican Al to step on her wheel. That took them out of the set. Melisandre out of the set. I had said to Amy again, took all that grab off. It's hard to get a real good gauge of what was going on with her today. I didn't love what I saw. I loved the way her attitude towards trotting, but again, was thrown off quite easily when a horse went to go by her. She heard the horse coming, then was twisted around and all out of gear. Just not a great training mile for her today, but it wasn't lameness or soreness or attitude. It just wasn't a good training mile, and she's been very good of late. The Priest did take a set of bell boots off him, but again, got in that deep trough coming out of the turn. I find it hard to believe that just removing the bell boots for him was the difference, the deciding factor on whether he was going to finish off his mile. The horse has been unbelievably good of late. I'd asked Jason, he said, no, he's just deep track. So we'll see how they train on Friday. Obviously, a lot of what I'm talking about will be validated or invalidated on Friday when they train again. So Arrowhead, Pelican, Melisandre, the Priest, all made breaks today. The other 3 were very good. I don't play nice, just you guys know what I think of this horse. He's just been lights out great from day one. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill was good, and Mountaineer Prince was good also. So those 3 were very good. The Pelican Al was more interference than anything, but it happens. Eric said he liked him the way he was up until that point. Now we went to the second set. These were horses this was the bottom rung of our roster. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not making fun of them. Manhattan Money, I'd like to see him progress. Eric said he was much better today again, but this horse had no grab on. Yeah, I'll call you back. Had no grab on, and then was asked to go. I went with him yesterday, and you can tell the horses that had no grab on today, I could see the way they were acting. They acted winded. They were tired today. I'll get to another horse I went with that just was very tired after his training set. And I think that was just 100% from that. I saw that from Manhattan Money yesterday, and I said, geez, Eric, you might have tied up a little bit. But Eric said the horse trotted great today. So that's good. What a Lady, What a Night, I thought looked very good also. Never Lose Felix. Almost got his first real good. I'm sure he'd a flat mile. Yeah, I beat them with him one day. But he looked very good in trotting also. Need to anchor him down a little more and take a look at why is this horse running at the wire. It's a really odd and really frustrating place to make a break. He's not old enough to know what the wire is. So it's not that he was trying to get to the wire like an aged racehorse maybe and made a break. He was sore, something bothering him, and he just couldn't quite get to the finish line without breaking. No, this is something else, and we'll have to nip it in the bud. But I was happy with Felix, Manhattan Money, and What a Lady, What a Night for sure. Baby said I told Joey going out the track. Says Jason. Joey went with him. Daryl didn't show up, so we had to change our drivers around a little bit. I told Joey from now on, when you go with Baby Zet, you got to score her down, thaw her out. And it's not that Baby Zet's a bad horse, but she's got those weak, kind of sloppy stifles, and just needs a little help getting through there. Made a break today, but she was coming in with 2 flat lines, so back to square one with her. We'll see how she is on Friday. Yves St. Kemp was just interfering a little bit. He's got that poor bugger. He cut his pastern, and he almost hits right on that area. It's got to be very tough for him. Was bumpy, was out of gear. You know, there's going to be a list made of horses that are struggling right now through the spring, and we're going to have it. Yves St. Kemp struggling a little bit, but big, strong horse. I tell you what I did like today was his attitude. That's got to be very frustrating for him. And still, had his ears up, doing his work. I was happy with the way he did it. Ali Scott Grit didn't appear to run for any reason. This guy here has got to put some weight on and get his attitude in check before we head into the summertime for sure. Lots of time. He's a good 100 pounds underweight still, and that isn't the way he arrived. Just being stupid, working hard, and acting up and not paying attention, it all goes hand in hand to their physical attributes. And Ali's got grits. Just gotta put it together. And he will. Set 3, the track. A good set here. High Hopes made a break in the mile on Jason, but was flying after the mile. So I said, what does that tell you? If she was acting up in the mile and was great after the mile, maybe thaw her out a little bit better. And actually, it wasn't his fault. She had a knee boot come down, and he had to stop her and put her knee boot back on, so he missed the time warming up also. Rosetta was good, but you could see her fighting that head pull on Eric, but she stayed trotting and did her work well. And again, Atrant, another horse, had no grab on today and lost her in the last turn. She sits at the bar, had no grab on, but I had her very thought out by the time we went our mile, and there was no issue with her braking. What I mean by that is it was just an even, slow downhill grind all the way from the start to the finish with her. She did her mile very well and finished up well, but she is going to have some boring added to the front of her toe. And then Laggy, another horse, flip-flops and 5/8 on up front with no grab. Not a good combination. And when Jason really asked her, because Jason was trying to get to me, when Jason really asked her, she rolled off straight at the wire. I can assure you why. Fourth set was another very good set. You know who I was very happy with? Now, I went with Grand Slam Dio yesterday, scored her down. She was on her toes today and sharp as attack. I can't go with them all. And I was trying to figure out how I could go with Green Glitter and her. And then I said, well, Green Glitter's been lights out. Eric can go with Green Glitter. You got to know Green Glitter. And I think she's another one, just that deep track. You could see following along, Eric said she was great. But then when he asked her to accelerate, which you don't ever have to ask her to accelerate. He said, when I asked her to accelerate getting in the last turn, she just lost herself. Which, after watching the video, I can almost assure you, again, I don't mean to make excuses, and I don't have to. Here's a horse that never makes a break. She's made breaks goofing off the back at the start, never in the mile, and always trains good. And today just looked lost. Cadeau actually lost a shoe and made a break right where he lost a shoe. I went back and watched the video. That's exactly where I picked that shoe up. Memento Mori was great. Grand Slam Dio was great. Dancing by Myself was good. In Jim Bree, Jason said first day Snake Cord with Dancing by Myself, and he was acting up, didn't like it. So he said he was fine. Otherwise, he did his work. But Grand Slam Dio was a shock to me. Not a shock, but a happy surprise. She was extremely strong today training. Very impressed with her. And Jim Paris looked very, very good also. Really happy with her. And the two colts were very good also. Memento Mori and Green Glitter. I guess I didn't give you the equipment changes, right? Arrowhead Hanover, we're going to add the bell boots too. We put a good working blister on a number of horses. We'll put the extra set of bell boots back on the Priest, although I doubt that was the issue. No equipment needed in that set. Second set, I don't really think there's any issues. I want to get some of the grab back on Memento Mori. He looked good today. Never Lose Felix, I don't think that was an equipment issue. And we are going to tinker with Yves St. Kemp's equipment. There'll be a number of changes over the next few weeks, I think. Third set, just get the grab back on a Trant. Rosetta's going to continue to wear that head pole till she's comfortable with it. She sits in the bar, get some Boreum back on the toe of her. And actually, I want to add a head pole to the inside of her. She was running in. I found her really comfortably trotting out a little bit. But as she crept in the turns or coming out of the turns, you really had to watch her. So we're going to just put a head pole. I could put a Murphy blind, but she's getting old enough now. She needs to wear a head pole anyway. So we'll jog her with a head pole on the left for the next little while and train her with it on Friday. Leggy, no changes there. And then the fourth set, I made the changes to Grand Slam DO yesterday. Took the boots off her, added bell boots again, put the trotting hobbles on her. She was lights out. Dancing by myself. He'll continue to wear that snake core. Gymboree was great. Green Glitter, I don't think there's any changes needed there. Grab, put back on her for sure. And Cadu, got to keep all his shoes on. Other than that, Memento Mori was good. Fifth set, the Pacers were awesome. Country Dancing, I talked about it in the actual video, live video. She's crossfiring is all she's doing. And I think she's gone far enough from now that we have the corks off her. Let's get the flip-flops off her also. I think if we just went to a full suede shoe up front, you're not going to see any more of that. Man, when I put her in gear down the backstretch, and I didn't even really put her in gear, I just gave her her head and let her pace past that horse quick. She was looking for a fight from then on in. And almost lost her coming out of the turn. She showed a lot of grit and determination to stay at it. Finished up her mile strong, and then I lost her going into the turn after the mile. Fire and Shine was adequate. She was good for Jason. Blue Ventura was good. Again, snake cord and hood on. He doesn't need to be sharp right now, and he's still just learning what his job is. This will be a guy, we'll get the flip-flops off closer to the qualifier. He hits the ground very hard. I just don't think there's any need to pull them off him yet. Country Dancing will just go to a full swedge up front. No equipment other than that needed. Roserun Alexander is an absolute beast. She has been perfect for a very, very long time. Eric does a great job with her. Gorgeous Package was very good also. Need her splints cry out. 2 horses still to do their splints. Southwind Idex, we'll talk about him in a minute. And Gorgeous Package, but she was great again. Foxy Seaside was very, very good. Clearly crying that splint was the spot. She looked exceptionally good this morning. And then we went with the last set. Take the Murphy blind off of Southwind Idex. Probably can take the head pole off Southwind Idex also. Still, his gait is pretty high. Almost get those flip-flops off. I just don't know if he's going to stay sound. This is a big, 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 big colt. So I'll have to think about that. Are we going to worry about his shoes right now or not? Obviously, you got to lean into him a little bit and make him do his work. But that's okay. It's not like you have to chase him any harder. And I didn't have to rough him up or anything. Just pick at him, pick at him, pick at him, pick at him, pick at him. I just think that this colt, 1, has the breeding, and 2, has the gait to become a decent horse. It would only be his overall ability. And when you ask him, there seems to always be more there. So he's holding back. He's sandbagging on us a little bit. But that's okay. That'll keep him sound throughout the spring. I was happy with him. Jason said, Wanderhill run. He said, but I like him. He said he didn't feel like he tried to make a break. He felt like he was trying to stay at it and rolled off. I said, as he gets stronger, I think you're going to see those breaks dissipate. He's got a great overall work ethic and understands his work well. Doesn't understand enough to do it well all the time and does make breaks, but I think they'll dissipate just on his work ethic alone and his sheer overall attitude. But it is concerning when they make a lot of breaks, but I'm not too worried about it yet. There's still lots of game left and lots of time between now and when he races this summer. Speed of Sound was very good. Freedom Hill was very good. As I said to Eric, she's just going to have to she's really rigid right now. We're really going to have to buckle down and put some elbow grease into her. She's going to work hard over the next 3 weeks. And I think the finished product, what you see in 3 weeks' time, will be vastly different from what you see right now. And that won't be the finished product overall. That will just be, you will see her turn a corner. I've seen this before with the What the Hills. In the next 3 weeks, you're going to see her turn a corner. Westland Warrior, great. Amy said, running out. We have a line pole and a Murphy inside. She goes, he's running out, but he'll run in quick when you put him in gear. I said, I think that's still residual soreness. Maybe your his stifles are a little weak, a little sore. There may be some residual soreness from where he got castrated also. But man, and when he ran after the wire, you could tell what he was doing. Anybody can see what he was doing. He saw the gate where you go off the track, and he just kind of wandered out towards it and rolled off stride. We would have needed Murphy blind on the outside for that moment. But otherwise, I think we just continue as is. You're going to see his equipment change. As he stops that running in, the Murphy blind and the head pole the line pole will come off. You might even add a Murphy blind outside and maybe put a head pole inside. You're going to see a lot of changes with Wes Lamorieux, but the good news is he wasn't playing around today. There was zero mercy in his eyes. I just saw him for blink. He just went from there to gone down the lane. He, as I said to Amy, he's a nice colt, a really nice colt. Just rinse and repeat every week. Keep working, keep working, keep working, and he'll come around. I can almost guarantee it. So as far as athletes are concerned, I wasn't disappointed with anybody today. Yes, there are some equipment changes and shoeing changes that are needed, but no horses where I'm saying, geez, I'm really worried about this horse. No. The only horses at all that we've had any soreness issues with are the three that we had backed off with, right? I'm Ready To, I'm a Trucker, and Oh He'll Know, and even those horses jogged well today. Captain Incredible is in Florida. He landed. Today was his first day jogging. I was in contact with Scott last night. He said he was going to jog him today. Field day yesterday. He said he was ripping and tearing. Obviously, Rosa and AJ, Aunt Lily. He's a great guy. And Dancing in My Socks, all head curbs crowd. They're a little more tricky. They're not even going to train on Friday. They're on jog duty for the rest of the week. And then LT Troubadour is healing up where we castrated him. He's a game time decision, scratch or not. On Friday, we'll let you know about him. Trevino and Green likely won't train in Ontario this week. And I just found out today that Century Legion is a Ridgeling. So we're going to send him to get castrated. He has to go to a university or a hospital to get done. We'll take care of that this week. So that is all of the horses. Grand old chap jogged today. No, I don't have a date for that bone scan we were going to do on him. I left that with Dr. Latessa to contact the University of the Ohio State University. So that is all your horses. Those are another 2-year-old update, but very pleased with what I saw today on the track. As I said, a little frustrated that a couple of them rolled off, but I have to tell myself too, this is not new. This is not something that you weren't expecting, that you didn't know would happen when we took the grab off, and then take all the grab and then all the normal grab also off. Just made it more difficult today for a number of the horses. But all in all, a pretty good day. Pretty good day. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I think we just had Electric Line today. Good luck to everybody with Electric Line. A great night last night, obviously. Very pleased with the performance of, nice to get Kings County back going. Locatelli raced well in the Open, but obviously the star of the show yesterday was a crushing track record by Spitfire Overseas. Actually, somebody sent me a note and said, it was Marcia sent me a note and said 3 of the top 20 fastest miles in North America by trotters were our horses this year, under our supervision. Now, 2 of them have been sold since then, Carter Michael Dio and White Tiger, but Spitfire Overseas king of the hill in that regard. Now, that will change as the year goes on. Hopefully we're the ones to change it also, but for now, just basking in the glory, the happiness of the trip he went yesterday. Great job by Brett and Stacy getting both those horses postward and victorious. Hopefully they can duplicate that today with Electric Line. Take care.